let's go. So, bro, your fear of bulking is keeping you small. But now, who even am I? My name is Muhammad, and I've been training for 3 years now consistently. This is what I currently look like, but I used to be fat. This is what I used to look like, right? And also, I think I have a good, like I've had a pretty good bulking transformation, right? So take a look. This was in June of 2023, right? This was a year into training, right? And before this cut, I was bulking. Yeah, I finished my first cut, and then I was starting my first ever bulk, right? So I was bulking and everything, and I gained some fat. So I was scared and everything, so I went on a crazy cut, and I was really skinny, right? This was about like the the lightest ever been in a very long time. Like this picture was about 62 kilograms, and I was still skinny fat. I wanted to get shredded and all of that, but no, I didn't reach that. I only got looking weirdly skinny fat, right? I also do have gain, right? So I ended up looking really skinny fat, and yeah, the only way out of this was to bulk, right? But now look to the present, August of 2025. This is what I currently look like, and if you compare the pictures, I've put on a good size, put on like good muscle, right? And the difference between this picture and this picture is like multiple bulks and cuts, right? Because I would bulk, gain some fat, cut, bulk, cut, bulk, cut, bulk, cut, bulk, cut, right? So as you can see, I look way better here, and I've gained good amount of muscle, right? And that's mainly because of bulking, right? Because yeah, I know you could build muscle on a cut, on deficit. You can build muscle eating maintenance. I know, you could do all of that. But why do something that's inferior when you can do something that's superior, right? Like, bro, you have to understand that the bulking is the single best way to build muscle. Why do something like maintenance or main gaining or whatever? Just go on a bulk, right? And now, in this video, I'm gonna like go about your fear of bulking and how to bulk the right way, right? Without getting fat. Because, bro, ever since like I've started my fitness journey, I never got fat again. Every time I would bulk and everything, I never get fat again. So I'm gonna like teach you my ways, right? So first of all, let's cover why you're actually scared to bulk, right? So the main reason is why you're scared to bulk is because you don't want to get fat. That's the main reason, right? Because nobody wants to get fat, right? If you're someone who's like lean and looking like defined and everything, of course you don't want to get fat, right? Like it's something normal, right? It's not like something bad, it's something normal. Of course you don't want to get fat, but here's the thing. When you bulk, the main purpose of a bulk is to gain muscle, not to get fat, right? And I know, you might have heard lots of things about bulking and everything, and that's because you think of bulking in the wrong way. You think of bulking like how it has been like pushed down for all this time, right? You know, bulking is as like eating everything possible just to gain as much weight and like getting really strong and everything, eating everything possible. And you see people like really bulking and everything and just getting really fat. Of course, they're getting stronger, but they're really fat. So that's why you have like a negative impression about bulking. Right? Like it feels like this like scary term now, bulking. No, that's gonna get me really fat and everything. And look, sure, if you look at it from that angle, of course, bulking looks really bad, but it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to get fat to gain muscle. You don't have to get fat to bulk. No, you can actually bulk without getting as fat, right? So the normal bulking is the way you just like eating everything possible. Eat big to get big, right? You eat everything is like everything possible just to gain weight, right? And of course, you end up gaining weight really fast, and you also end up getting really fat. So you have to end the bulk, right? So because you wanna cut now, right? And now this is the wrong way. Don't do this. This is the wrong bulking, right? This is the one that's gonna get you unhealthy and everything, and you're gonna end up a fatty, right? But now let's talk about the good bulking, lean bulking. Now, what's lean bulking? You've probably heard about it, but not really much. So, lean bulking is where you're bulking but slowly, right? Because in a traditional bulk or like a normal bulk, you would eat everything possible just to gain weight, and you're gaining weight really, really fast to the point that, of course, you're gaining muscle, but you're also gaining lots of fat. Because, bro, you can only gain a certain amount of muscle. If you eat more, you're not gonna gain like more muscle. You can only like gain a certain amount of muscle, right? So in a lean bulk, you're gaining muscle, so muscle is going up, right? And fat is going up, but you're minimizing it, right? But here, you're eating everything possible, so of course you're gaining muscle, but you're also gaining lots of fat. But here, of course, you're gaining muscle, but you're minimizing the fat gain. Of course, because gaining fat is inevitable, right? Of course, there's some exceptions, people who do it really well, that they barely gain any fat. But for most people, gaining fat is normal, right? And it's inevitable, right? You will gain fat, right? Of course, especially when you're bulking, you will gain fat, right? But you also gain muscle, right? And also, quick bulking mindset, which is that when you're bulking, you're gaining muscle, you're boosting your testosterone levels naturally, and if you're a teenager, you could like even grow taller because you allow your genes to express themselves better. So you get all of these things for the small price of gaining some fat in the process. It's worth it, right? So now, back to our topic. So when you're lean bulking, you're gaining weight slowly. So about 1 to 2 kilograms a month, right? You're gaining 1 kg a month to 2, right? And that's 2 to 4 pounds a month, right? That's the only amount that's the max amount of weight you're going to gain in a month, right? And it's really limited, right? There's like lots of structure, there's like more discipline, more everything, because you're trying not to get like to gain lots of fat, right? You want to gain as much muscle while minimizing the fat gain, right? So you can bulk for longer. But here, you bulk for 6 months, dirty bulking and all of that, and you get really fat and you hate the way you look, so you're gonna cut. But here you can bulk for 2 years, right? So, bro, this is the way where you're bulking and everything, and you're not gaining as much fat. You're just maximizing the muscle and gain a little bit of fat as time goes on, and then eventually you're gonna cut, right? Because if, of course, you've gained some fat and everything, and now you want to lean down, sure, do it, right? And bro, here's the thing with lean bulking: don't get lazy, because bro, after lean bulking for a couple of weeks, you might start getting, yeah, I've been doing this, so I'm bulking, yeah, I'm bulking, and you start like slacking off on your diet, and you start eating whatever and whatever, and you end up going back, because now, look, you started, everything's going good, you're gaining 1 to 2 kilograms a month and everything, but then you get kind of lazy and you start eating whatever, and boom, you start gaining weight really fast, and yeah, I'm bulking, you start coping, right? And you start gaining fat. That's like, that's what kind of happens to me, because like, I started the lean bulk pretty good and everything, and I kind of get lazy, right? But what will happen? Okay, you gain some extra fat in a single month or something, whatever. Don't forget that you're in control, right? Because there's so many times I start bulking, and yeah, I realize that I gained a bit too much fat. I just go on a mini cut, or just go on a cut. That's me right now. I'm currently cutting. Right, I want to like lean down a bit more and then start bulking more. Because like this year, 2025, I think I've bulked like for a good time of it. But now like I'm leaning down because I think I've gained some like a good amount of fat. So I want to like lean down and go on another bulk, get bigger and everything. So we have to remember that you're in control. Don't be scared to bulk because you gain some fat. Remember that you're the one controlling it. Like, if you eat more, you will gain weight and gain fat, right? But if you just eat less and just be this and everything, you will lose the fat, right? So like, there's no need to be actually scared of it, because you're the one in control. Like, people are scared of bulking because they're gonna get fat, but you can stop the bulk whenever you want, right? So just remember that you're in control, and when you start the lean bulk for the best results, just don't get lazy, right? Avoid getting lazy and stay disciplined to the lean bulk, right? And yeah, man, that's it. And since you made it to the end, here's a few surprise: the Jacked at Home protocol. And now what's the Jacked at Home protocol? It's basically a free course, right, that I made and everything. And you can access this free course by joining my free Discord server, first link in the description. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Take action. Assalamu alaikum.